Hey everybody, Kevin here for CrackBerry.com. We're live on location in San Jose at Blackberry Jam, America's 2012 with Michael Cluley. Michael, we've got here the Blackberry 10 Dev Alpha B device. And
Dev Alpha B, Kevin.
You guys are showing us a little bit more of Blackberry 10 than we've seen in the past, and some changes from what we saw at BB World, right?
Yeah, so at Blackberry World back in May, we actually had the universal inbox on the right. We've actually moved it over to the left here so I can peek into the universal inbox from this side. Additionally, we've moved the apps to be all horizontal instead of vertical. And this blends well for a mobile user who wants to use the device all the time, and it actually makes that peek gesture to pull in the universal inbox really, really easy.
Sure, because if I'm holding the device with my one hand here, right, and I want to come in, this is more of like a polling. It's almost like the inbox or the hub, right? It's called the hub now.
Yeah, you beat me to the thunder. So we don't call it the universal inbox anymore. It's actually the Blackberry Hub. And we wanted to give a name to something that is really truly Blackberry experience. All of your messaging, all of your social, everything goes into that one location. BBMs, text messages, social messages, Twitter mentions, Facebook friends ads, everything all in one stop location. But the hub is so much more. I can pull down from the top within the hub and reveal my upcoming calendar appointments. How great is that? I mean, it gives me a 360 view of everything around me, not just my messaging, but my life in the day.
You're right. So the universal inbox just doesn't cut it anymore. It's much more than that.
It's more than the hub.
Makes sense. And makes sense with the gesture too, right? Because it's almost like this is always there underneath anything you're doing, and if you just kind of pull it away, you know, you're moving your app that you're in out of the way and you're seeing what's there, versus before you're kind of pushing it on top.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a smart change.
I mean, Blackberry 10 is really all about the gesture movement and how it's easy for you to use your fingers, your thumbs, as the navigation input for a Blackberry 10 device.
Cool. So let's go back to the home screen experience here. And I noticed you can actually, if you can swipe through all your apps, right? Or you can actually jump around if you want to.
Right, exactly. It, again, allows you quick access to the panes. My personal favorite is you press and hold, and the faster you swipe, the faster the grids kind of move. So I can go app by app and move along, or I can kind of zoom through them and get to information.
Very quickly. Cool. And then I also heard, so if we open a app up here, when we minimize this, whoop, go from the bottom. So there's a name for this now.
Yeah, and actually I'll show you one that really showcases it off. It's called active frames. So when we minimize the application,
there we go.
You see that when I minimize BBM, it actually adapted and gave me specific information to that application. So BBM, it rotates through status updates, it rotates through when my friends change their profile pictures. For calendar, it actually minimizes and shows me upcoming appointments or whatever happens to be on my schedule. Something like weather, it shows me the weather forecast for today or the current weather, and then a short-term, you know, afternoon, evening type weather as well.
And that's something that developers can, you know, build in, right? It's like a second state to their app almost.
Yeah, exactly. With the APIs that we have available that are coming out with the Dev Alpha B this week at Blackberry 10 Jam America, the SDK fully has the active frame APIs for developers to use. Very
cool. And I've noticed, so with this preview, we're getting a better look at some of the, you know, Blackberry 10's about that one-handed ease of use, right? And I noticed in some of the UI, like even in the web browser, you made a little clever change with where things are located.
Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at some of the applications, one of the common UI frameworks or the UI principles that we use is at the bottom of the application we have kind of the action area. In the browser, it's your toolbar, your back button, your URL entry field, but at the bottom right hand corner here we have these three dots, and that symbolizes your menu to get more. So it's what we call the crosscut menu, and it quickly swipes in to bring you additional things that you can do within that application. And of course it'll be context specific. So if I was to press and hold on an email in the BlackBerry Hub, it would give me items that are specific to that email message, reply, forward, delete, whatever it happens to be.
Cool. So our menus are there when we need them, and they're nicely located, quick to get to.
Exactly.
I like on the web browser here, even, you know, normally in a web browser you see this at the top, but you know, you're always reaching up, right? These screens are big. I think that's just a brilliant little change there to put it right where you're going to be tapping.
Yeah, and it all comes back down to the design principle of content is king as well, making sure that what we have on the screen is for the content that the user wants to see, and not the controls and all the things that may get in the way of the experience at the end of the day.
Cool. And I'm trying to think, last thing, BBM, right, is amped up for BlackBerry 10?
Of course, we couldn't do a video on BlackBerry 10 without talking about BBM, right, Kevin?
Right.
So we've really updated the look and feel to BBM. Easy access to the chats within BBM. Not only is it single conversations, but group conversations and BBM group conversations. In addition to that, easy way to get to contacts. And we have this new nice avatar grid view of your contacts. And last but not least, and really cool, is we've updated BBM Groups.
Oh, wow.
So we've integrated that home screen active frame experience. This angle is killing me, Kevin.
No worries.
This active frame experience with your grids into BBM Groups itself.
Right on.
So you have your live chats, your pictures, your lists, and your events. And whenever something is updated in that area, you see that content. So if I send a new picture in my group, that's the last picture I see. If a chat happens, you get that real-time information without even having to open up the frame itself.
Always in. So that's what we mean by always in.
And the flow.
And the flow. I like it. I think that covers it. That's a great walkthrough of you know, everything new we get to see this week, but I know there's so much more there, right? So it's this is awesome.
Well, what's really exciting about what we're showing off this week, Kevin, is that developers get the OS in the Dev Alpha B and Dev Alpha updates as well. So they get the BlackBerry 10 home screen,
man.
They get contacts, they get calendars, they get the browser, they get BBM, they get App World. It's just great.
Awesome. There's going to be lots of happy developers out there, and a lot of people in CrackBerry Nation who are like, I want it now. But that's cool. Okay, really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Anytime, Kevin.
Bye.